All right, it is Monday, April 19th, 2021. It's 2:02 a.m. I'm on my way to the gym right now. You know, something that literally just kind of dawned on me. I'm gonna get this stuff cleaned up. Something that literally just dawned on me. And this conversation is more so about me, but possibly something that you can apply to you. I had a transaction, a real estate transaction that was going on with a client. Personally, I liked the client. I haven't ran across the client I didn't like, because I believe people in general have good hearts. I believe in general people have good intentions, but I believe also in general people don't know God. I believe that their flesh will become louder than the voice that is trying to lead them in the right direction. And what I mean by the flesh, I believe that people will get mad, will get angry, will get frustrated, and you'll see all these different sides of them. And if you're not spiritual minded, you might think the person is mean, they don't like you, versus just them being frustrated, right? Especially in real estate. There could be times where the deal or the transaction isn't going exactly the way you want. It's not going super smooth. That happens. I've learned to say people are in a particular phase of their life, and this is called not so happy. The phase that you're in right now is called not so happy. So you have to be careful about how you judge people. You have to be careful about how you come to an opinion about people, because they could just be at a point in their life where they're just inside of their flesh. But something that just came to me. There was a client that I was working with, and there was a number of things that just kept coming up, and it just seemed like it was a bigger deal than just real estate. It seemed like there was some personality issues, some flaws in the individual's ability to follow through with the deal. And if there's anything to gain, it seems like there's always the tendency to hold on to a situation. If it's love, you tend to hold on to the relationship because you want love. If it's a paycheck, you tend to hold on to the job because you want the paycheck. And this particular transaction, it wasn't that the people did anything to me. It wasn't that the people did anything to me. But I was so ready to be done with that transaction. I didn't care the money. I didn't care the potential to not earn anything. I was done. I felt like the situation had taken so much time, effort, and energy, and that we were going in circles, ultimately to end up nowhere. Because you got to remember something. Just because you have a plan, right? And remember, I'm talking about me, and I'm really talking about a real experience with me. Just because I have a plan, and let me talk like that, just because I have a plan, it doesn't mean everybody else has a plan. So their focus in life could be Let's go in circles. Let's repeat this vicious cycle on this relationship. Let's keep making the wrong decisions. Whereas I come in and I say, hold on, we're structured, we got the ability to move forward, let's go ahead and do that. Well, just because I have a plan doesn't mean that they have a plan too. And sometimes you got to be okay with letting things go. You got to be okay with letting people go. You got to be okay with letting transactions go. You got to be okay with letting certain deals walk by. Not every deal is a good deal just because the numbers look right. Because then you got to ask yourself, who am I doing business with? Because the numbers may look right, but the person you have to do business with doesn't. And so as I'm getting in the car right now, God gave me this real cool peace of mind. He said, not everything's for you. Stop holding on to everything. Because some things you hold on to so hard that they're not meant for you, that you end up letting other things pass you by. Right? Relationships. There's probably been times that you've been in a relationship, now I'm talking about you, that you've looked at the other person that you're with and you knew you weren't supposed to be with them. And the person that God really sent into your life keeps coming in and out of it every single day. And because you're holding on to something that you should have let go a long time ago, you're missing out on what's really intended for you. Not everything's a good deal. Now, if you're a superstitious individual, you can take what I just said too far. But I'm talking about when you know it ain't right. Not because you had to fight a little bit. See, some people think, well, I gotta put up a little bit of fight. I gotta work for this. Maybe this ain't meant to be. No. Because good things come to those who wait. By exercising patience and sometimes sufferance. But we're talking about legitimate situations where you know it's time that you go your separate way. Legitimate things where you know it's time we go our separate way. And this particular transaction, I didn't do anything to sabotage it. I didn't do anything. I worked as hard as I could to put it together, to keep it together. But I just wasn't getting the cooperation from the client. And in the end, it all fell apart. And the client was staring there looking like, what happened? And I don't think they were looking at me like, what happened? Because I did all I could do. But I couldn't stand in the way of them standing in the way of their own progress. See, when I work with somebody, it's so that we can make progress together. So that I can help you get to where you gotta go. You're not helping me get to where I gotta go. So I can help you get to where you gotta go. And it fell apart. And now I know they're sitting there like, what happened? Because there was a point during the transaction that everything was going in the right direction. And then I started noticing them doing little things to sabotage it. To set the plan back. And at first I dismissed it, like, that's, but then it kept happening. And I was like, maybe these people are scared of making progress, forward progress. You see what I'm saying? You have your eyes set on success. Other people got their eyes set on just trying to maintain, trying to hold on. Every day it's a constant struggle to try to hold on. It's not every day is a constant struggle to fight up, to go higher, but to hold on. And see, when you're walking a path in life where you're fighting to go up and they're fighting to hold on, they're okay with standing still while you're not okay with standing still. And so you have to let go. And I have situations going on right now where I'm trying to hold on, but I'm sitting there thinking, I need to let go. And I remember when I let go of that situation, I looked at my wife, because this was recently. I looked at her, and she said, well, what about that client? I said, there ain't nothing else I can do for them. I washed my hands. And then that same client called me about a week later, and I wasn't even interested in doing any business, because I knew that they weren't ready to go where I wanted to go. And when people, things, situations aren't in line with what it is that you're trying to do, you have to let it go. You have to let them go. You have to let him go. You have to let her go. You have to let it go. That's why I'm so big on going through my house and getting rid of stuff that I haven't seen in a while, that it's just taking up space. Because if it ain't no use, why have it? Remove it. Make room for something else. Because when you take out the garbage, you make room for more things. When you eliminate the nonsense in your life, you make room for more things, more opportunity, better relationships, friendships, businesses. You know that saying, all money ain't good money. So when you stop chasing money or stop chasing after people who don't want nothing, and you let it go, and that's something I have to tell myself on a regular basis. Just let it go. But I have a hard head because I like to try to think I can solve and fix everything. Nah. I can just talk it out. And one of the greatest gifts God ever gave me was the ability to talk. He gave me a mouth. He gave me the ability to formulate some words. But when I was a young pit viper, I would let all that God gave me go out into the person that I was dealing with, not knowing that they weren't ready for the words that I was speaking. The encouragement that I was giving them was the same encouragement a coach would give his team moments before going out on the field of the Super Bowl to win. Some people don't have championship caliber mindsets. They're not ready for that conversation. They're not ready for that pep talk. They want to wallow in their own sorrow and misery. Sometimes you got to walk away and let that go. And let them find their way. Because some ground is just barren. Some ground is just not good for reaping any harvest. It's not good seed on good ground. So you have an opportunity to move on and be of service to somebody who's been waiting on you to help them.